it's me, Liz Yuille from Old Staples Crafts. Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to start with some really good news. So if anyone has had a parcel that has been sitting in Stanford Hope since the 6th of May, I have a couple that I'm watching. One's a team member and one's a customer. They look as if they're going to be delivered tomorrow. Exciting! So if that's you, yes! I've checked the team member. Let me just see if the customer's is the same. Yes, it is. Hurrah! So, thank you. They're on their way. That's all we really need to know. My order, however, that was supposed to arrive today is delayed locally. It's fine, it'll arrive tomorrow. Actually, it was meant to arrive yesterday, but it didn't leave Germany on time. So it was then going to arrive today, and now it's going to arrive tomorrow. It's fine. It's all good. Right, let me make sure that everything is running properly. It is. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. Yes, I'm live. It's on my screen. It looks like if anyone puts anything in the chat, I will see it. It's all good stuff. Hurrah, hurrah, and la la. Right. Oh, someone's been looking at a really old project of mine, I think. Oh, no, actually, it might have been yesterday. So yesterday I did a random live using the new Delicate Details treat boxes and the brushed shapes dies. So, anyway, hello, I'm Liz Yuille from Old Staples Crafts. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator based in the UK, working across the UK, France, Germany, Austria and the Netherlands. It is my job. This is what I do all day. This isn't what I do all day. Most of the day is admin. This is what I do to share with you. But it is my job. I'm in a really silly mood. I do give you due warning. I will explain why later. Anyway, if you are in the UK, France, Germany, Austria or the Netherlands and you wish to shop Stampin' Up, I would be thrilled if you would try out my customer service. I am told it is quite good. So it may be worth a try. Also, while I'm waiting for people to join, and people are beginning to join, yay! Just a reminder that until the end of the month, we have the in-colour joining offer, which means you get your standard joining offer for wherever that is across the world. In the UK, that's £130. You pay £99 for it. That's the same. You don't pay postage. Excellent. So you're saving nearly £7 already. Plus, until the end of the month, you will get all 5 of the in-colour ink pads. You will get one of the collections of A4 card, so with all of the colours in, one of those packs. You'll get a pack of the in-colour designer series paper, which is 6x6 and really cute. And you will get the new in-colour grid paper, which I was hoping I would be able to show you today, but it's in the parcel that's delayed. Never mind. Hello, Carol. Morning from Washington. Hello, Jenny. So, and someone's already liked my video. Thank you. I do like likes. Likes are good. So yes, wherever you are in across the world, if you're in a country that has Stampin' Up, I urge you, even if it's the only thing you ever do, get the starter kit. You don't have to hang around. Don't have to do anything if you don't want to. But the starter kit at the moment, you're getting in the UK, instead of £130 of product for £99 without postage being added, it's free. You're getting an extra. I think it's an extra £62, certainly over £60 of product, just by getting the starter kit. So £190 of product for £99, including free shipping. It's a no-brainer. I know it's a no-brainer because someone has just joined. It's my second new team member with the joining kit. So who's joined? We've got Gwen from North Carolina. We've got Diane from California, from Vista in California. near San Diego. 7 a.m. Wow, and cloudy. It's just gone cloudy here. We had a lovely morning. Sherry from Oregon, Dallas, Oregon, and Shaz from South Devon. I hope you're feeling a bit better, Shaz. Every day in every way, I'm feeling better is what I want to hear. Right, today I'm using not new product, but there is a reason for this. And it is, I'm meant to be on a cruise at the moment in the Caribbean with my niece and lots of other Stampin' Up! Demonstrators. So I'm doing a nod towards the cruise today because tomorrow is our final day. We're doing a virtual incentive trip, some of which has been hysterical. It's all been interesting in one way or another, but some of it's been hysterical. They had some of the leadership team stamping against each other yesterday evening, and it was just hysterical. They got the instructions for a card, but not the picture. And apparently, some people don't know the difference between Sweet Sorbet and Poppy Parade. I grant you they're close, but they are different. Hello, Judith. Hello, Janice. From central east coast of Florida, sunny and toasty warm. I'm only slightly jealous, Janice, because as I say, the sun's just gone in. So I am doing a nod towards anyone who should be on the incentive trip today, and I'm going to see if I can get 2 cards in. No pressure. And I suddenly remembered a design that I love and a technique that I love. And it would have included new product had it not been for the fact that one of my deliveries is delayed locally. So I'm going to flip the camera down and talk through what I am going to be doing. So, yes! I have a horrible feeling it's going to rain as well. Anyway, so I keep looking out of the window because my window is just there. And, ooh, I'm back to front. I see me back to front. It's just there. Oh, I'm back. Yes, I am. I'm back to front. It's kind of weird. Anyway, my window is just there and it looks really overcast and grey. We had torrential rain last night. I mean, silly. So the delay on this is just phenomenal. It's about a minute. We're going to have fun, peeps. Anyway, so apologies if I take a while to reply to any of your comments because there's a huge delay. So I've got my Paradise Palms stamp set out. This is carrying over from, I want to say, the mini. I want to say it's carrying over from the mini. Should we have a look? Now, the carryover list for the mini should be coming out reasonably soon. Yes, Palms, Paradise Palms, it's carrying over from the mini. And I have to say I didn't order it until I knew it was carrying over. And now I have it. So for me, it's new. I would have been showing you our new masking paper, but I can't because it's in a box, delayed. So instead, I'm going to show you masking paper that isn't from Stampin' Up. But I have punched, and I do mean punched. I still have all my old circle punches because they're quick and easy. And I am going to add my masking paper to the top of my card. Oh, I want it a bit further in than that. So that circle is towards the top. Oh, actually, I could bring it down a little bit and then just use a post-it note. I could do that, couldn't I? Or what I could do is use the bits that have come out of the middle. Waste not, want not. So I'm just going to mask off anything I don't want ink on. Like that. So I've got a little bit there, but I should be fine. Actually, I can take that bit off, can't I? Because I don't need that either. So this isn't our masking paper. Our masking paper comes in sheets. This comes off a roll. But the basic idea is the same. And as I say, when I have my masking paper, I will be using it. Oh, and I forgot to put a light on. Let's put another light on. There we go. So I am going to do, say, 2 cards. One's going to be like a sunset, sunrise, sunset-ish. And the other's going to be less so. But we're going to do it with ink blending. So I'm going to make sure that that is properly stuck down. As I say, you can use your dies, your circle dies, if you wish instead. And I will be using this set of palm trees, but not yet. I'm going to do the background first, and I'm going to use the palm trees and this funny shape, which for me is going to be an island, because I should be around Caribbean islands at the moment. But never mind, I'm not. I'm here with you, and it's lovely. I'm not getting sunburn. It's fine. I'm not upset at all. Can you tell? However, so I've got some pale papaya that apparently is dirty, but that's fine. It'll come clean. And I've also got some Calypso coral that I'm going to use, which is there. So I'm going to see if I can get away with the same brush. I'm going to just grab a cloth, because I do like to, you know, get ink off. And I should probably bring in a piece of scrap paper, and a shipping notice is as good as anything, because it then means I can come right across without worrying. And as this is a relatively new piece of grid paper, I do like to try and keep it reasonably clean. Now I'm going to start with my Calypso coral, which I think needs re-inking, but never mind. And that's going to go kind of in the middle, and then I'm going to add some probably Orchid Oasis. Hey, I said it right. Give me a thumbs up just for saying Orchid Oasis right. And then the pale papaya is going to be further up. So this is going to be a sunset without the sun. So I'm just going to see what I've got coming off my brush, and that's about right. The key with ink blending is you don't want to start on wherever you're blending, because you could end up with, if I really overload this, you could end up with a, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, but there's a definite splodge, which you don't want, because getting a splodge out is quite difficult. So I'm going to go off. So I'm coming across my piece of card. I do want this to be reasonably dark. The other thing that brushing it off on the side does is, if you have got any little bits of smit on your ink pad, you're more likely to brush it off before you put it onto the card that you're working on, which means you're less likely to end up putting your smit onto the card, assuming you know what I mean by smit. Maybe very English. Oh, thank you, Shaz. I know it's no fun when I get the names right. Hey, we've got to use Starry Sky yet, and that really threw me last time. Starry Sky, which of course now means I'm going to say Starry Sky. Starry Sky. Oh dear Lord. Right, so I've probably got enough Calypso coral on there for the moment. I may come back and add more. I'm just going to brush this off. You may not be able to see what I'm brushing off. The next trip was going to be the Baltic, but for some inexplicable reason the cruise company thinks that's not a very good idea. So it's going to be the Norwegian fjords. At the moment I've got a way to go before I earn it, so yeah, I may not be going to Norway. I hope I manage to earn it. I've got nearly halfway still to go, but if I do manage to earn it, it will be starting from the UK, which means I can take my husband, who possibly won't want to be on it, but you know, it does mean that I can at least offer to take him, because he won't fly. So I'm hopeful, not least of all, so this is pale papaya, not least of all because I was in Bergen for an unplanned 2-week break. Well, actually it was 10 days. My dear late father, oh gosh, 4 years ago now, was on a cruise up the Norwegian fjords, and he fell ill on board. Fortunately they were in Bergen at the time, but he was on board. He collapsed, and he needed to have a pacemaker fitted, which under normal circumstances, I mean, I have to say the Norwegian health system is amazing. Under normal circumstances he would have been in and out within 2 days. It's basically day surgery. However, because he had a form of leukemia, he didn't clot very well, so I ended up flying out theoretically to bring him home. So I was expecting to be there for a day and turn around and come back again. Hello, Claire. And I ended up being there for 10 days. I had only taken enough clothing for 3. So I did get quite used to washing things out in the hotel. And fortunately, there was a heated floor in the bathroom, so I laid things down on the floor in the bathroom overnight. Right, I need to get some blue of some description in here, and I am going to use Orchid Oasis. I'm getting there. So I need a blue brush. That's green. That's pink. Oh, I know I got a blue brush. Where's my blue brush? That's yellow. That's blue. That's definitely blue. Now, this is a weird colour because it has got a hint of mauve in it. So yes, I'd quite like to go back to Bergen and see it as a tourist. I saw a lot of Bergen Hospital. And I have to say they were all amazing because they all made sure that I was well as well, because I was quite stressed. But the joys of Stamping Up, I carried on running my business from Bergen. I took my laptop, and it was during Celebration one year, 4 years ago. It was March, so we were coming to the end of Celebration. It was in the days when we had a 3-month celebration, just one. And I took 2 stamp sets and some note cards and some Stampin' Right markers. And that was basically it, because I was only going to be there for 2 days. By the time I got back, I couldn't tell you, I hated those stamp sets. It was just as well they were Celebration stamp sets, so I never had to see them again. So I'm just adding a bit of blue, because obviously with the sunset, the sun's going down, and then the blue comes in at the top. But I wanted that hint of pale papaya, just so that it wasn't a flat blue. Could, of course, bring in some starry sky, she says carefully. So yes, it's currently, the plan is that we are, the incentive trip that I'm hoping I will make, will be to Norway. We haven't yet heard where the 2024 trip will be, so where the next one will be. So I'm just bringing in a little bit of starry sky just to get a bit more depth of colour up at the top. And that's basically all I'm going to do with the blending for this card. But I am going to bring in some ink because I want to stamp my island. And I'm also going to bring in my Stamparatus because I want to stamp my trees and I want them to be really black. Ooh, except I could use early espresso. I might use early espresso instead. Right, so I am going to use, I can't use anything too pale because we've got colour. So I think I'm going to use soft suede because it's going to be in shadow. This is my theory. So a darker colour is good. Let's just see what that looks like. Yeah, that will do. So I'm just going to bring that in kind of here-ish. So I'm going to stamp that, and I'm pressing quite hard because I need to get through the blending paper. So here, let me show you. This is what I thought might happen. So we've got a halo just here. Let me see if you can see that, because there is a dreadful delay today. Yes, you can. So I've got a halo. So I'm going to see what I can do to clear that halo up, because I don't want a halo, please. So I'm going to close that for the moment, and I'm going to grab my soft suede marker, and because this is a distinctive stamp, I'm going to use the pointy end rather than the brush end, and I'm just, this is because I am, you know, this would upset me if I had the halo, because I am that sad. So I am just dotting. I can't just sweep because it's distinctive, so it's got dots. It's like a newspaper print. So it's like a newspaper photograph where it's got dots. Certainly old-fashioned newspapers had dots. Pixels. So I'm just dotting along that halo. Like that. I can now gently remove my mask. And I say gently because although it is masking paper, you can sometimes find that it's a little sticky, particularly if you pull it straight up without care. So there is my island with its sunset. It looks quite small as an island at the moment, but it's fine, because once I've added the palm trees, it should kind of become, there'll be something to give it perspective, as in size. So I'm going to use early espresso because early espresso is very, very dark. So let's ink that up and see what that looks like before I commit. No, I think I'm going to go with it. I could use Memento, but that's quite a light black. Can you have light black? Yes, you can, because we've got them in our blends. But yeah, so I'm going to go with this, and I'm deliberately going off the top, and I'm hoping that I'm not coming off the bottom. And I need to be aware that I've over-inked my stamp. And by that I mean I've got ink on the edge of my stamp. Thank you, Gwen. Thank you, Carol. It's, yeah, fix a halo. It's, the halo needs dots. Dots. So I'm holding this in place for a reasonable length of time to allow the ink to actually transfer. And there we have our palm trees coming off the top. I like things that come off the top of an area. So that's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inks so far. Okay. Right, and I'm going to add a sentiment, and I think I'll add that in early espresso as well. And I'm going to trim the card down. I may add some ribbon as well. So now the next one I'm actually going to do in reverse, as in I'm not going to have the island there. I'm going to bring it down and bring the palm trees down and have them coming off the bottom of our card, because then we can do a compare and contrast. But I'm hoping that I managed to work out how to do a slightly less sunsetty sort of effect. Just hovering so that I can just see where I'm going. Thank you, Sherry. So, wishing you a warm and beachy kind of day. There we go. So, I am going to trim this down and add some pattern paper and a base, obviously. So let's do that. I'm going to trim. I'm going to take a bit off the bottom. I'm going to end up trimming off about 1/4 of an inch all round. I want to go about 1/8 of an inch off the bottom, ideally without making it too obvious that I haven't stamped straight. Just saying. So 1/4 of an inch altogether, so 1/8 of an inch top and bottom. That's only because I want the sentiment closer to the bottom. And I think I'll take the full 1/4 of an inch off this side. So this is now 1/4 of an inch smaller than where I started. I've got some of the Abstract Beauty paper that will be retiring soon. Hello, Candy. Hello, Brenton. So this I'm going to cut to my usual size mat. This will go on my website with measurements for North America as well as the rest of the world in both inches and, excuse me, centimetres. I was just having a think about that, because I was going to then put that on a mat. I'm going to take some more off this because I do want my mat. So I'm going to take another 1/8 off. Do you love how I just make these things up? So I'm going to take another 1/8 of an inch off each of 2 sides, because I do also want a Calypso Coral mat. So this is now, what is this? This is now 3.5 by 5 1/4. So I want this to be 1/8 of an inch wider. 3.5 is 3 5/8. by 5 3/8. As I say, I will put the measurements on my website later this week. Hello, Nora. So this is going to go on here with just a narrow little calypso coral edge. And then I've got my pale papaya with script and a pale papaya card base. And I am still thinking that I might want to put ribbon across that card. Let's have a look and see what it looks like. So, no, I'm not convinced. Not convinced that that's going to add anything, so I'm not going to bother. Where's it go? Where's it go? There it goes. There it goes. Right, okay, so I'm just going to layer all this up. So I've got half a sheet of cardstock. I generally, if you haven't watched me before, I generally have a long thin card rather than a short fat, so my fold is at the top. It's because, and I know I keep saying this, it's because of my photos. And then I don't do photos with the card standing up. So it's probably a really weird thing for me to say. But back in the day, I did do my cards standing up. Now I don't. I do them lying down, but it's habit. We all get into habits, and that is why I always do my card with the fold at the top, because then if, unlike me, you put something on the inside, you can photograph it showing what's on the inside. But I don't do that. I don't put things on the inside very often until I write my card, because my handwriting's dreadful and I'd rather not. Not sure I've cut this quite right. I'm just going to measure my paper, so I'm not 100% convinced it's right. No, it is. Need to be confident in my own ability. Right, I think what I might do is pop that up onto there, and I know what I'm going to add. This year's favourite embellishment. So, if you're in the UK and you place an online order with me that is, oh, I can't remember what it's meant to be this month, and use the host code, you will receive next month a full pack of the in colour, the 21-23 in colour opal rounds, which are gorgeous. So I'm going to use some of those. Right, okay, dimensionals. My name is not Bruno Bertucci. I don't need to use a full pack. Only need to use that many. So the next card is going to be green. It's going to be one of my least favourite colour greens, which is Pear Pizzazz. Some Old Olive. But Pear Pizzazz has its place, it's just not my favourite colour. Opal rounds. These are gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. The camera doesn't do them justice. They are stunning. I mean, I liked opal rounds, but the colour version is... Oh. Now, I'm about to make this an expensive card to post. Just saying. Hello, Deborah. You made it. I won't say why I'm late. Okay. Yes, Candy, I think Bruno needs to take out shares in Stamping Up Dimensionals. Thank you, Deborah. So I'm going to just pop some of these, and I'm using the pale papaya ones. And if you follow me regularly, you will know I'm going to use an odd number, because our eyes like odd numbers. Actually, I don't really like where I've put that. There we are. So I've moved it from out here to here, because then it's more connected. Right, okay, so that is our first card. So let me clear the decks a little. I am still going to need early espresso. No, I'm going to use early espresso. I'm going to change that for a green. I may need that. May need a little of that, but I won't need those. Famous last words. I am about to put things away and then get them out. You can guarantee. Right, so let's bring in our scrap paper. And once upon a time, there we are, I had some more pre-prepared white layers. Now, thank you, Candy. Thank you, Deborah. Your favourite green, Gwen. Okay. So you'll be happy because I'm using Pear Pizzazz. It's just not my favourite colour. I don't know why it's not my favourite colour, but it's just not my... I think it's a bit... doesn't really know what it's trying to be. I think watered down is what I'm trying to say. So I brought the mat down a little bit again. I'm just going to trim the bottom off and just use the bottom to go on the top. And as I said, for those of you who weren't here earlier, in my order that is currently delayed between our local depot and here, which is about 3 miles, so it's now hopefully arriving tomorrow. In my order, there are some of our new masking sheets. So I would be using our new masking sheets were it not for the fact that they're stuck somewhere between there and here. Right, okay, so we're going to go for sky. So I need balmy blue, because we don't have sky blue anymore. And I need a paler... Am I going to be all right using this? I think this is going to be too dark, but let's see. So this is a microfiber cloth. I'm not a great fan of microfiber now, but I have the cloth, so I'm going to use it. It's better to use it than not. Just throwing it away just means it becomes landfill, as opposed to using it first and then turning it into landfill. So let's see what happens if I use... Oh, that's right. Yeah. Right. So this is very, very pale. Yes, very, very pale. And then I can add a bit more colour. You're enjoying the impromptus. Today actually isn't an impromptu. Today is a planned one, but thank you. Isn't the weekend? This weekend is our outdoor festival. At the moment, the weather is dry, and frankly, that's all I care about at the moment. Because we've had torrential rain. I mean, really bad rain. One of the incentive trip events was last night, and I was sitting in our kitchen on Zoom, well, it wasn't Zoom, but anyway, on the incentive trip platform, and we've got floor-to-ceiling bifolds on one of the walls. It was like someone was throwing buckets of water against the window. It was ridiculous. So, anyway, so I'm going to basically cover the whole of this with Balmy Blue, and then I'm going to add a little bit of Orchid Oasis. Orchid Oasis, sorry. I must trust myself. It was right. It was right. So this is just going to be a nice light sun. Now what you can do, if you actually want a sun, is stamp a sun, because there is a sun in this set, so you could stamp your sun, then cut a mask to go over the top of it, and then add your colour. It's a great way of doing a moon, by the way, if you want to do a moon, because you can cover it before you use this. Never heard of masking sheets, never paid attention to the catalogue, maybe because I don't do a lot of blending. Out of your comfort zone. Oh, it's so lovely. They are under the adhesives, I think. They may be under the colouring tools, but I'm not sure that they're in a, for me, particularly logical place. The adhesive sheets are there. Oh, I tell a lie. In which case, they must be under the colouring tools. Those are terrific tools, it says so. Oh, if you're in Europe, the magnetic base plate is available. Yay! Only for the big machine. They are on page 149. You get 12 5x7 sheets for £6.75 or €8.50. Obviously, I couldn't tell you what that is in other currencies, but that's where they are. Hello, Val. You know you haven't missed me. After midnight. And you've just got home from work. I'm guessing you work shifts. I hope you work shifts if you've only just got back from work and it's after midnight. Right, balmy blue. We don't need any more. So I'm just going to use a little bit of Oasis Orchid. Orchid. See, I know I get it wrong again. Orchid Oasis. And it's just so that there's a bit of definition, because otherwise it's... yeah, I mean, I'm sure where they put them is logical for someone, just not for me. Yeah. It's the fact they split the bundles now. $7 in the States. Yeah, and you'll add tax. Our tax is included. So for both the UK and Europe, we include our tax. So I'm just adding a little bit at the top and a little bit at the bottom, and this is purely so that there is a difference. Otherwise it's going to look very sameish. Now you will tend to get a darker line next to the mask. It just happens, so don't worry about it. It's called life. So that's that. And I'm now going to... A nurse! Oh, well, there you are, you see. That'll be why. You are a shift worker, you are a nurse. You are doing amazing work. Well done. I would never have... No, not... I would never have that vocation, I'm afraid. Right, so that is our masking, inking. And I am going to stamp my palm trees first, which may seem a bit odd, but there is a logic. Maybe. There's maybe a logic. And I'm using early espresso again. And this time I'm going to bring the palm trees down. So the head of the palm trees are going to be in that circle. And again, I'm going to hold this here. Yeah, split bundles is very confusing. Yeah, I'm a simple person. I like simple too. So I'm holding this here so the ink can transfer, and we get a nice, crisp, as crisp as you can with distinctive stamps image. Now I do need to clean my island, preferably with mist, not water. So I'm guessing from some of the comments saying that you like my impromptus that I'm not going to continue doing impromptus every day for the rest of time, but a few more impromptus during the week wouldn't hurt, I'm thinking. Would that be popular? Because I've said I'll do them until the end of the month. So popular to do more after that? Question mark. Right. So this is going to go kind of there-ish. So it's just going to touch the bottom of the blue bit. And I think because we're using green, I may even break open my Pear Pizzazz. I know. My least favourite green. Yep. Or Riche Raisin, if you're in, I'm guessing, France. So I need to do a bit of visualization. So for me, that means moving this back and forward a bit. Right. Let me go a bit further that way. This is where I discover that the trees are going to be off the bottom of the island. Impromptus, yes. I would love to see you do a scrapbook page. I am going to bring in scrapbooking, Shaz, after the end of the month. So in June, I'll start doing scrapbooking. It's been a while, so I need to kind of get my brain back into scrapbooking. So yes, and Candy would like that. So don't worry, Inika. You're not late. Replays are there for a reason. Hello from the Netherlands. Right, so I've got a nice solid island. Green island that's just touching the blue, which is exactly what I wanted. Yay! It worked. So my island is green because I'm using green backgrounds or green card for and paper for my next layers. So let's get rid of those. Can't decide what colour. I might actually use a different stamp sentiment. I've broken my old rules. Oh, thank you, Val. But not so much that I burn out. Thank you, Candy. Yeah, no. Burning out is not something I am prepared to do. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. I'm being quite strict about not working at the weekends. So I now have on my email signature that my office hours are 9 till 4 Monday to Thursday and 9 till noon on Friday. If you email me outside these times, I will get back to you as early as I can on my next working day, because I did find, particularly dealing with father passing away and then the funeral this year because we couldn't have it last year, burnout was, yeah, it was fun. And you kind of look at, I've got things I've got to do. I'm not doing any of the hops that I should be doing. All sorts of things that I just cut back on for the moment. So I'm using the Orchid Oasis as my sentiment colour, because I've got a little hint of it. I can get away with it. Yes, it is straight within itself. I'm going to come up a little bit. Ooh, that means I can maybe add a ribbon. Ooh! So what have we got? You're a beginner scrapbooker. Perfect. Marilyn likes scrapbooking. Gwen, I'm with you. It was my first addiction as well. I went from scrapbooking to card making. And Inika, she's the same. Oh, Inika, you've got to, it's basically, well, I don't have children, so love children, couldn't eat a whole one. I don't have children to scrapbook, so my children in fur coats get scrapbook a lot. I scrapbook anything. I scrapbook life. So for me, the joy of a scrapbook is, yes, scrapbook the important things, obviously, but scrapbook everyday life, because that's what isn't going to be recorded in history. So there we are. That's the basic card, but I am going to be trimming it down and stuff. So what have I got? I've got some more of the Abstract Beauty Design Series paper, but I'm using this side, and I'm going to use it probably up and down rather than side to side. Oh, actually side to side looks quite nice. No, I'll use it side to side. And I've got some Old Olive, because that's in there as well. This is Pear Pizzazz and Old Olive as a colour scheme. So that's what I'm going to do. And I am going to go for roughly the same dimensions that I went for before. So we're going to start by cutting this down so that it is my normal first layer. So 3 7/8 by 5 5/8. So this is a go-to for me. Oh, that's the scoring blade. So that's my first layer. I want a reasonable amount of fresh air so that we can see the pattern. So this is already 5 5/8 by 3 7/8. So I'm going to take 1/4 of an inch off 2 sides. Oh, thank you, Marilyn. Oh, Candy, yes. Cats don't have, yeah, we are their staff. Right, so that's our first kind of look. So we've got a reasonable amount of paper showing. So I've taken 1/4 of an inch off so far. So I'm going to take 1/8 off this side so that we don't go over the island. Places to not put your ink pads right where your trimmer blade goes. Really not a good idea. And I'm going to take 1/8 of an inch off this side, so that moves my sentiment down. And then I'm going to take 1/4 of an inch off each of the other sides. So basically I'm taking 3/8 of an inch off each of adjoining sides, but I'm spreading it out. So I should have just a nice little 1/8 of an inch border. Don't need that anymore, so let's get rid of it. Right, so again, long thin card, burnish. This is slightly shorter, so it's the back. Yeah, scrapbooking, mini albums, cards, absolutely, that's the right order. One of our cats is sitting outside saying, "Why can't I come in?" Answer, because I get enough cat hair in here without you coming in. And she ends up everywhere. On top of my cupboards. On some occasions, you know, if I have an empty space on in a cupboard, she'll be there. She'll just go in there. It's fine. It's my new place. And she's a tortoiseshell, so she's a naughty tortie. So you ask her to get out and it's hiss spit. Because that's just what they do. It's their nature. She's one of those, many years ago, in my competitive dinghy sailing days, I met a wonderful lady who wouldn't call a spade if she could call it a bleep 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 shovel. And she had trained one of her dogs to roll on its back with its legs in the air at the "What do girls do for diamonds?" as the order. So rather than sit or, you know, roll over, what do girls do for diamonds? Apparently we roll on our backs with our legs in the air. As I say, she wouldn't call a spade if she could call it a beep 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 shovel. Mustard has obviously picked up on this. Not that we've trained her to do anything, she's a cat after all, but she does roll on her back with her legs in the air, showing off her lovely white tummy. I dare you to try and stroke it. I dare you, because she will have your arm off before she can blink. Certainly before you can blink. No, that ain't gonna happen. But what we do have is the new Old Olive Twill. Ooh, which reminds me, let me just make sure that I haven't missed anything. 6 dogs. Okay, Candy. What job did I do before Stampin' Up? Okay. It was slightly different. And in fact, part of the reason that I have a slightly croaky throat today is because I got onto my favourite topic at lunch. We have a village lunch club for people who are geriatric, which means anything over the age of 50. I have to say I am one of the youngest people there, and I'm over 60. But anywho, and we got onto one of my favourite subjects, and I did warn them. I said, "You're going to get me onto my favourite subject. If we keep going, this is going to be my favourite subject." And I used to lecture on it. I was in insurance, so for many years I worked for insurance brokers. I did work for an insurer at one point. This is Seal Plus. And then I decided, then regulation came into general insurance, and I worked in general insurance. I worked for a brokers that did film and TV insurance. And I used to place insurance for places like Pinewood Studios, which was fun. Much more interesting than insuring widget factories. So then I got into compliance, so making sure people followed the rules, which I loved. And then the company that I was then working for was the first company in the UK to get a really big fine for bribery and corruption. They self-reported, but yeah, it was fairly interesting for a while. And I was asked if I would help out one day a week with all the paperwork that needed to be done, because it was the US that were looking into what we were doing. So that was great fun. So I ended up, long story short, I ended up specialising in anti-bribery and corruption. So financial crime prevention. So slightly different. So I had a ridiculously serious job in the City of London. Was paid a stupid amount of money for something I really, really enjoyed. I became an expert on the UK Bribery Act. You're so pleased you asked this question, aren't you? So yes, I became an expert on the UK Bribery Act. And yeah, so that's what I did. Anti-bribery and corruption. And I can bawl for Britain on it. And probably the rest of the world as well, because the UK Bribery Act has extraterritorial rights. Right, so having bored you on that, Shaz, does she repurpose furniture or build her own? Marilyn has 5 cats, 1 accident, 2 mid-age, 2 youngsters. I'm allergic to them, by the way, cats, but we have 3. I'm now looking at That's Hilarious, and I can't work out what that was hilarious. Candy's going, wow. Yeah, I can bore for Britain on it. Clinical psychologist. Oh, okay. It was fascinating, Deborah. I mean, I loved it. I really enjoyed it. I am not someone who does exams really well. At school, I was actually ahead of my years at school, which was fine, apart from it meant that I didn't do very well in exams. I had real exam nerves for everything apart from when I was doing my exams in financial crime prevention. I did have a panic attack in the middle of it, but yeah, I loved it. Absolutely loved it. It's the only exam I've ever got distinction in. Right, I'm going to use some of these clear polished dots while they're still available. I've been using these a lot while they're still available. I'm using the clear ones rather than the petal pink. So I'm going to have one here. Thank you, Gwen. I'm glad you like the card. That's what's hilarious. Okay, I get there. Yes, what do girls do for diamonds? Yes. Sorry, there's a dreadful delay on the feed today. Yeah, I always have used creativity as a relaxation. While I was holding down this ridiculous job, and I was working silly hours. It's part of the reason I ended up getting cancer, I think, because it was stress. I also used to make costumes for amateur theatre productions, musical theatre, because it was creative. And I actually went to fashion college. Having been in insurance for 3 years, I took 2 years off to go to fashion college, then went back into insurance. You wouldn't teach us something like that in a... No, well, I wouldn't either. But this woman was just amazing. Oh, my nails. Thank you. Yes, I did them this morning. I've gone bright. I did say, do you want bright or do you want subtle? And bright seemed to win out. And I've got a lot of very bright nail varnish that I've just ordered. Some of it has arrived. Some of it is really bright. One of them is about Parakeet Party, green. And maybe a bit I'm looking between Parakeet Party and Granny Apple Green. No, I think it's Parakeet Party. One of them is probably Daffodil Delight. Right. They were sold as a set of rainbow colours. Anyway, so there we go. So those are my 2 carts for today. So, yes, thank you very much for joining me. As I say, not really new product. Some of it's new. Those are new. And that's new. And had the masks sheets arrived, they'd be new. Oh, Shaz, brunch, always. Always. Yeah. You never know, these things can happen sometimes. Distance is only something in your mind. Anyway, right, the sun's coming out. I'm going to go and see if I've got any more strawberries that the birds have left me, because we're beginning to get strawberries, but the birds get them first. Thank you very much indeed for joining me today. I'm going to flip the camera up. Thank you. Thank you, Shaz. I'm glad you like them. That's not the program I want. I want that program. That program's what I want. So, hello, Terry. Enjoyed watching this morning. Thank you. You're very welcome. So, if you did enjoy it, and it does sound like you did, a thumbs up is always fantastic. The algorithm loves a thumbs up, so it shows it to more people. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Brenton. If you don't already subscribe, that button down in the bottom right-hand corner will be your friend, particularly for the rest of May. Thank you, Gwen. Thank you. Oh, you're also kind. So yes, if you want to know, because I'm doing these random lives, you're going to want that alert bell so that you get an email. Not enough thumbs up. Oh, thank you, Inika. That's so kind. And as I say, if you are anywhere in a Stamping Up country and you don't already, if you're not already a demo and you want to put in a larger order, please get the starter kit and all those lovely new in colours. It's just mad not to. As I say, I got back from lunch today and there was a new team member email, which is just wonderful. It's a lady who was thinking about it for a while and she's taken the plunge. It's not a plunge. You can stop at any time and there's no penalty. It's wonderful. Thank you. Oh, lots of likes. Thank you so much. I will be back sometime tomorrow. Tomorrow is random day. I have got to film Simple Stamping Saturday. I may go live on Saturday, but I may not because I am going to a 1980s concert. Lots of 1980s music, and I need to be away from here late morning. Demo life is brilliant, isn't it, Candy? I'm so looking forward to going to on stage and seeing real people in Vienna. Yay! Can't wait. I've booked the hotel, I've booked the flights. Now all I need to do is actually book going to on stage. Thank you very much indeed. Have a fantastic rest of your day, wherever you are in the world. That may be nearly over or only just beginning. Thank you very much for all your support. It really is. If I start talking about the support I get from people on YouTube, I will start crying because it is just amazing. Thank you so much. I don't think you realise quite what you do for me, but you fill my bucket. So thank you very much indeed. And I will look forward to seeing you again tomorrow at some point, recorded on Saturday, and I may or may not go live on Saturday. Definitely won't be going live on Sunday, because that's the weekend. Anyway, thank you very much, and I will see you very soon. Bye-bye.